Welcome to Employment First and Benefits through a Person-Centered Lens, Employment Services. This training was developed by the Colorado Office of Employment First and funded by the Department of Healthcare, Policy, and Financing. This module's objectives is to learn about the diverse employment services that are available to people on their employment journey. Let's talk about how people access employment services and pay for them. The good news is there is state and federal funding available for employment services. Typically, employment services are paid for through three main funding streams: the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, Medicaid waivers, and community mental health centers. The Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, or DVR, assists people with disabilities to succeed at work and live independently. They believe that people with disabilities are essential to a working economy that elevates all of Colorado. DVR offers an array of services and supported employment options to support people with the most significant disabilities in pursuing competitive integrated employment. This includes youth and students. The Department of Healthcare, Policy, and Financing, known as Health First Colorado, is our state's Medicaid agency and administers all Medicaid waivers. If you are working with a person with an intellectual and developmental disability, there is funding through Medicaid waivers to provide residential, day program, and employment services, as well as others. Finally, the Behavioral Health Administration contracts with community mental health centers across Colorado to provide mental health treatment services to people, which includes employment services. Most notably, the Individual Placement and Support Model, known as IPS, supports people with serious mental illness and substance use disorders to find and maintain work. If a person you support is interested in employment, connect with your supervisor or the person's service coordinator or case manager. The state has developed a great resource to learn more about how people get connected to employment services in this flowchart. It's called the Supported Employment Services Flowchart, and an image of this resource is featured on the slide. DVR and waiver funding work together to ensure people receive the support they need to reach their goals. Select the link on the slide or go to tinyurl.com/supported employment services to check out an accessible PDF of this resource. As we think about what employment might look like for each person we support, including the services that may be needed to help them reach their goals, it's important to remember that employment is a journey, and every person's path and experience is unique. This slide features a curvy road labeled with different parts of an employment journey where career seekers may receive support from an employment support professional. People may not experience these stages in order or need support in each of these areas. Each part of the journey is selected and personalized to support each person's vision and goals. The foundation of every employment journey is self-discovery and skills exploration to help a person discover their strengths and interests. It also supports people in identifying the skills they currently have and what skills they would like to develop. Activities include pre-employment transition services, discovery, situational assessments, technology services, benefits planning, and more. It's important to keep in mind that none of these services determine if a person is ready for work, and they are not required in order to pursue employment. The career seeker is the only person that can decide if they are ready to work and if any of these services would be meaningful in achieving their goals. Education and career training refers to any academic or career program that prepares a person for a certain field or career path. This may include post-secondary education, a certificate program, an apprenticeship, specific classes, or other training programs. Job preparation and development are services to help the career seeker navigate the hiring process and find a great job match in a competitive integrated setting that is also consistent with their own employment goals. This can be thought of as the support provided in the job search process leading up to the acceptance of a job offer. The employment support professional builds relationships with employers to understand business needs and match them to the complementary strengths and skills a career seeker may have to contribute to that position. Job preparation activities may include developing a job search plan, identifying employment goals and work preferences, job search training, resume development, support submitting applications, interview preparation and support, transportation planning, disability disclosure, negotiating accommodations, and much more. Job coaching and support is the training provided by an employment support professional that supports people with disabilities to learn, accommodate, and perform their job duties and thrive within their work culture. Activities may include support with employee onboarding and orientation, job skills training, relationship building with natural supports, disclosure and accommodations, building skills, technology training, and employer education and support. Many new employees will continue to have targeted, ongoing support as part of their employment services. Once a person has learned their new job duties and feels comfortable in their role, the employment support professional feeds back their support to the minimum necessary in order for the employee to maintain success in the workplace. They check in as needed to provide targeted support and coaching around specific needs identified by the employee. They may also begin discussing next steps in the person's employment journey. Finally, career advancement is a key component of Employment First. Employees with disabilities should have the opportunity to advance and be promoted just like anyone else. Employment support professionals encourage employees to consider these possibilities, helping them establish and navigate their long-term goals. Activities may include ongoing conversations about the future, supporting new training, building new skills, and developing a career plan. Who exactly is an employment support professional and what is their role? Employment support professionals assist career seekers to enter and thrive in the workforce, to achieve their goals, and find work that aligns with their strengths, needs, and interests. Other names for an employment support professional are employment specialist, job developer, job coach, and employment consultant. Employment support professionals are trained to provide employment services to career seekers with disabilities. In Colorado, they are required to hold a certificate or a certification to demonstrate their knowledge and capability in delivering services in the field. Employment support professionals provide a comprehensive array of services to support a person's employment journey, including the following: conducting activities that help people learn about their strengths, skills, and interests, identifying their employment goals and creating a vision for the future, developing a career profile and job search plan, facilitating a great job match by connecting a person's skills and strengths with a business need, developing strong relationships with local businesses, resume development and interview preparation, discussing disability disclosure, negotiating accommodations, on-site job training and coaching, employer education and support, and transportation training. As a direct support professional, you have the ability to support the core work of employment specialists. DSPs often get to spend more of their days in several environments, getting the opportunity to learn more about the person you support. You can think of your role as being an integral team member, offering wraparound supports to the employment planning process. Having a team rallying behind the person, also known as the career seeker, and encouraging their job search is important for success. Think about all the different ways people in your life have helped you with your job searches and experience figuring out work. Your involvement as a DSP is so important and encouraging. We are stronger together. Let's consider how rituals and routine can support employment. As defined within person-centered thinking by the learning community for person-centered practices, rituals and routines guide us and bring a sense of comfort to our days. As a DSP, you get the opportunity to learn how to best support people, and you can share this with others on the support team, like employment specialists. Here are some areas we can learn about for rituals and routines, and we all have them and do them. Think through this list and come up with what you do in your life that brings you comfort. Morning. Are you an early riser or perhaps a snooze and get up later kind of person? Going to bed. Do you check the door and windows before you go to bed? Mealtimes. Do you eat dinner at the same time every day? What about on Sunday? Do you have a particular way to set the table? Transition. Do you have to organize your day before it starts? Birthdays. Do you think it should be a national holiday, or perhaps do you hope that no one notices? Cultural or holiday traditions. What is your favorite holiday? What food has to be on the table for it to be that holiday? Spiritual. Do you need to engage in religious services, prayer, or find meditation important? Vacation. Are there things that need to be present for it to be a real vacation? Not feeling well. How do you cope with not feeling well? Do you prefer to be left alone or prefer to be taken care of? Comfort. What gives and brings you comfort? A special blanket? Celebration. How do you celebrate things that you are happy about? Grief and loss. What are some rituals you use for coping with grief and loss? It is also important to note that when we experience rituals and routines, or learn them from others, they can change with time. Some rituals we engage in weekly. Others may be a monthly ritual, while some might be seasonal or even annually. Knowing the nuances is also a key part of offering wraparound supports to the larger team. What you learn can be shared to help with better employment matches that also align with different comforting and important rituals and routines. We all have a rhythm and pace of life, and when it is followed, we have better days and a more fulfilling life. Here are some reflective questions to think about. Do you know the rituals and routines of the people you support? Could you learn more? Are their wishes around these rituals and routines respected and valued? Are they included or excluded? Are they following somebody else's rituals and routines? How can we learn more about what an ideal routine would be for a person that could support attaining their goals and dreams, like learning new skills needed for working in an industry or field that they like? When supporting a person who might be interested in working, this means that there might be a change to their routine. We all like and live by routine, so as DSPs, it is helpful to be a part of developing new routines that work well to support the new goals of the person you are supporting, such as when looking at getting a job or changing jobs or positions. The routine might need to shift, or there might be new things added in, such as packing specific items to take to work that are needed. Maybe it is tools, or perhaps it is dressing in a particular fashion or work outfit. You can begin the task of practicing mapping out routines. Here are some reflective questions you can think about as you map out a routine for the person you support. What are different routines and rituals that support employment goals? What can we discover about the person that is important to them and also important for them from their rituals and routines? From this discovery, have you learned about any potential interests and job skills that they have? When we practice mapping out a routine, it is best to be specific. 24 hours is a lot to map out, so think strategically for where to start. Perhaps you start with a morning routine or bed routine. What does that routine look like? How can DSPs help set a better routine that supports a work schedule? Or perhaps you look at the routine of transition in going places, like to work. What would the routine look like for going to or from work? Would a day program or activity schedule need to change to accommodate a work schedule? What about lunchtime? What would the routine look like for lunch? Is it a prepared lunch for work, or perhaps money to go grab lunch with coworkers? Are there any support needs to consider in this routine? If a person also attends day program, what kinds of routines can be developed that also support a work-life balance? Would our program time need to shift to accommodate the new work schedule? If so, would days of preferred activities need to be switched or times? How can we help the people we support through these changes? Because change is hard. It can be uncomfortable as it disrupts the comfort of the existing rituals and routines of our life. It will take time to adjust and get comfortable with. So think through what you can do as a DSP to help support change. Here in Colorado, we primarily use 3 different models of supported employment in order to help people achieve their goals. We use traditional supported employment, customized employment, and individual placement and support. Let's take a closer look at each of these models to understand the unique features that each approach offers career seekers. The supported employment model, also known as traditional supported employment, empowers people to make their own choices about their employment journey. People receive support from credentialed professionals to enter and thrive in the workplace, finding and negotiating jobs that align with their strengths, interests, and employment preferences. Supported employment promotes competitive integrated employment where pay is at or above minimum wage. Employees experience authentic inclusion and belonging in the workplace, and where there are opportunities to advance and be promoted just like anyone else. It also believes in zero exclusion. Everyone who wants to work can find a great job match in a competitive integrated work environment with the right support. And finally, person-centered planning is the foundation of delivering effective supported employment services. The career seeker always makes their own informed and supported decisions about their employment journey. There are several key features that are integral to the supported employment model. Supported employment services are designed for people with significant disabilities, including students and youth. Services are particularly beneficial for people who have never experienced competitive, inclusive employment. Their engagement with the workforce has been intermittent related to the nature of their disability, or who need more extensive and extended support in order to succeed in the workforce. Employment professionals support the career seeker throughout the entire employment journey, including pre- and post-job acceptance services. This includes services like self-discovery and skills exploration, career planning, job development, job preparation, job coaching and support, and more. Again, each of these services are selected by the career seeker and personalized to each person's employment goals. A career seeker may request support for every step on their employment journey, or they may just need support at different points in the process. Customized employment is both a model, a way of doing, and a method, specific approaches toward supporting individuals with disabilities toward employment, competitive integrated employment. This approach is for individuals who have not seen success with obtaining work or being employed by filling out job applications or participating in interviews, and for those who have been told that they cannot or should not work because of their disability, what they experience, or their associated behaviors or perceived behaviors based on their disability or diagnosis. Customized employment has two components. The first is called discovery. This is where time is spent learning about who the person is, their routines, and what they do in their daily life. Notice, I said it focused on what and how they do things in their everyday life, and not what they can or cannot do. Discovery is about understanding the strengths and skills that a person possesses versus focusing on all the things they don't or can't do. After we understand the person, the next part is to develop and create a job that aligns with the person's strengths, what they can contribute to employment that matches the needs within a potential employer. We are creating a new position that meets the needs of the individual and the business, versus trying to plug the individual into an already existing position. Customized employment is a model and method because we are using a different approach to obtain competitive employment that aligns and matches skills and needs. Individual placement and support, also known as IPS, is an evidence-based practice that is proven to help individuals who have serious mental illness access competitive and integrated employment. IPS is an extensively researched and highly effective vocational intervention. In fact, 2/3 of people with serious mental illness want to work, but only 15% are employed. Meaningful work is linked to positive health outcomes. Being productive is a basic human need. Employment has a positive impact on health. IPS believes that the employment journey is a pathway to recovery. IPS is grounded in 8 practice principles, which are featured in the IPS fidelity process, and to serve as a guide for implementing high-quality service delivery. The IPS practice principles are competitive employment, zero exclusion, integrated services, attention to individual preferences, benefits planning, rapid job search, systematic job development, and individualized and time-unlimited supports. A unique feature of the IPS model of supported employment is its fidelity scale. The purpose of a fidelity scale is to assess if desired outcomes are being achieved and measures the quality of those outcomes. The IPS fidelity scale consists of 25 items associated with each of the 8 practice principles. Each item is rated on a scale of 1 through 5, with 5 being high fidelity. Data sources for scoring fidelity include management information systems, documents, interviews, observations, and individual service plans. If you would like to learn more about the individual placement and support model of supported employment, visit the IPS Employment Center website. The focus of the IPS Employment Center is IPS research, dissemination, training, and consultation. Visit ipsworks.org. You can also visit COEF's website for IPS training information and technical assistance. Visit employmentfirstcolorado.org. There are many other services that support a person on their employment journey. Transportation training supports people in developing a plan for commuting to work. It also provides training and skill building to travel safely and independently to and from their place of employment. Activities may include identifying the best route to get to work, applying for or setting up accounts for transportation options, safety education, and more. Assistive technology refers to any equipment or products that are used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of a person with a disability. Professional rehabilitation technology services include any services that directly assist people with disabilities in selecting and using assistive technology devices. These services include designing, fitting, customizing, and adapting assistive technology devices, providing training or technical assistance to a person using assistive technology devices, and providing training and technical assistance that is needed to help a person achieve their employment goal related to the assistive technology. Examples of assistive technology include screen readers, wheelchairs, voice recognition, mobility aids, hearing aids, prosthetics, screen magnification, and so many more. Everyday technology refers to tools and devices that simplify and support what we are doing in our day-to-day lives. These technologies can often be inexpensive and integrate seamlessly into our routines, providing convenience, efficiency, and improved functionality. Examples of everyday technology include smartphones, apps focused on productivity and communication, wearable devices like smartwatches and health trackers, voice assistants like Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, or Apple Siri, and remote-controlled or app-controlled devices like switches and plugins. Benefits planning, also known as benefits counseling, is a direct service provided by a certified professional that assists career seekers with disabilities in understanding how employment and other life decisions impact their benefits. Workplace assistance is a direct service provided under the DD and SLS Medicaid waiver services. It provides supervision needs above and beyond what could be regularly supported by the workplace supervisor, coworkers, or employment support professional. Employment services, accommodations, technology, and natural supports are used to maximize the person's independence and minimize the need for consistent presence of a paid support professional. Workplace assistance services occur alongside and outside of funding specific to job coaching. Pre-employment transition services are provided to students with disabilities to develop an awareness of career and education opportunities, the general skills needed for employment success in any field, and the skills needed to appropriately advocate for themselves as they prepare to exit secondary education and enter the workforce or participate in other post-school activities. Pre-employment transition services include job exploration counseling, work-based learning experiences, counseling on comprehensive transition or post-secondary education opportunities, workplace readiness training, and instruction and self-advocacy. As part of person-centered planning, other professional services may be identified by the career seeker as meaningful in reaching their employment and life goals. These professional services may include mentorship, therapy or counseling, occupational therapy, medical treatment, interpretation services, personal assistant services, and more. Finally, resources within the local community may also support a person's employment journey. Libraries offer a wealth of support and resources, including employment-related books, knowledgeable librarians and staff, internet access, free workshops, and skill-based learning events. Community centers also offer networking and socializing events, which may lead to great connections around work. Many community centers also offer workshops as well as job and resource fairs. Workforce centers offer a variety of free services to support job seekers, including job listings, computer and internet access, career counseling and training, and much more. Career seekers can choose either self-service options or be assisted by workforce center staff and exploring options to meet their employment goals and needs. The takeaways for this section on employment services are that There are services and support available to help people reach their employment goals. You are an important part of each person's employment journey.